Hello everyone, welcome back to Gaming with Shoggoths. We're doing another Prehistoric Kingdom update video here. We're going to go over some of the other non-dinosaur related new aspects to the game. The kind of big cool one that I sort of wish had come earlier, but you know, what, better late than never, right? Is now we actually have a dedicated sandbox mode. We've got sandbox mode and we've got challenge mode available. They each have their own settings. With challenge mode, you've got different difficulty levels. Easy, normal, hard, kind of like you would expect. And, you know, they all have their different monetary starting points. How many science points you start with, which is basically what allows you to make your dinosaurs kind of like the equivalent of having like DNA or something like that. And then storm frequencies as well as which animals you start with, which I think is actually really kind of cool, like that they put it here so you can see which ones you'd be starting with. So you can hit default and it just defaults to this. So this is on normal difficulty. We'll put it on easy. With easy, it starts you off with 3. Normal starts you off with 2, and hard starts you off with 1. And then you can actually, right here where this little refresh button is change it. So like you can have a different like combination of creatures that are available for you to start with. And I think that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that you can see what it is, because you can be like, oh, well, I don't like that combination. Let me try a different combination. Or you can just have, you know, a variation of combinations to choose from, so you can try different things at different times. And I quite like that. That's pretty cool. For sandbox mode, you know, you've got kind of like the default sandbox mode, and then you've got one where you can still like have all the things you would need, like environmental needs and stuff like that, money, electricity and such, and then you can also customize it, you know. So that's I mean, that's pretty standard. That's like Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Evolution and pretty much every other similar type sandbox game. I already did a video with the new dinosaurs. If you haven't seen that yet and you want to check it out, I will put a link in the description, as well as right up there in the right hand corner right about now-ish, if you want to check that video out. This video is going to focus just on some of this part and then the new decorations. We're just going to go into Sandbox and check out the new decorations. There is a new land or a new environment, a new park spot. I don't know if I can actually, yeah, you can. So now we've got like this world map and everything. I can only imagine there will be several other locations in the future. So apparently we were originally building on like the Spanish coast, I guess. Because when I went and I looked at Spain, that was the kind of tropical-ish right on the coastline. It almost looked like an island, which, I mean, if you're on a peninsula, it would kind of almost look like an island. But now we've also got the United Kingdom, which is a temperate, more like kind of the trees that probably most of us are used to that aren't living in tropical environments. So that is the one we're going to bump into, since that's the new one. Spain is the one that we've been basically playing on this whole time. We just didn't know it was Spain. So we'll go in there and we can take a look at all the new decorations. All right, so this is the UK temperate map, as you can see. Lots of different trees, and pretty much all the new trees that got added this update are ones that go into this biome. We've got birch trees, some more arrowwood, some more oaks and stuff like that, and I'll show them to you individually in just a minute. We've got a different backdrop in this environment. We've got the rolling hills of the UK instead of the kind of cliffs and mountains that we had in the other more tropical, I think it's a scrubland, yeah, scrubland environment that was the Spain map. All right, so we're going to take a look at some of the non-dinosaur new additions to the game. We're going to start off with this fence because, honestly, aside from the dinosaurs, it is like my favorite new addition. I very much like this new fence style. These are tropical bamboo. Okay, all right, so we've got the shorty, kind of a middle-sized fence, and then a tall one. And I actually really like this tall one because, like, at this height, I know it seems like ludicrous, the size of the fence, but like this height you could see in, you know, see your brachiosaurs or maybe your dangerous carnivores in there. And then you would also be able to kind of like see them peeking out over the top, or, you know, there'd be like like an observation deck or something like that, like above this level so you could see them. I just think it's a really cool looking fence. I mean, I think that's all. It's kind of funny how that keeps happening. We've got some low distance issues going on, but yeah, like, they're really really cool looking fences. I like them. They're neat, and I'm always up for more neat fences. Now, another thing that's been implemented that was kind of like, you know, you could see in the menus, but it wasn't something you're able to do yet, is to replace the paths. The fences, like, you kind of could. It wasn't working very well for me. Like, if you fiddled with it, you can make it work. But now it seems like everything is in proper implementation, which is great, because being able to change the fences and the paths that's leading them is very helpful. So we'll just check it out and see. I just saw it in the update that that's a thing. Now I didn't actually try it, so we'll see. Let's see. Yep, perfect. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Honestly, that fence looks better too than what I remember it looking like. Oh, I wonder if that's a thing or if that's my imagination, because I haven't played for a minute. Not sure. We'll just give the fence thing a try real quick. I'm curious if this also means you can change the width. Oops. No. Okay, so it does have to be the same width. And I mean, that makes sense. Especially if you have other stuff all around it. But yeah, okay, so the implementation of changing the fences and changing the paths is in the game now, and that's really good, because it's kind of inconvenient when it's not. They've also added some new pillars and such. We've got 1x1, 1x2, and 1x4 wall pieces, as well as pillars. They all come in all the different colors and patterns that you can have the walls on. I just picked a few. These are all pillars, the 4 to the right, and then these 3 are the different different wall pieces. And that's really great, because it was starting to get kind of annoying. I like using pillars, but like, in order to get them to look like the walls, you had to kind of manipulate the wall pieces, and that it's so much, you know, it's always going to be better when you have the piece available to you and you don't have to form it yourself. So I'm really happy about that. So we got some nice new wall pieces, and then you can see back here we've also got some great new decorations. These are very pretty. I mean, this is stuff that you can definitely make in the game, but it's also nice to have it handy. And you know, and these sorts of things are usually editable, so you can mess with them if you wish, or make your own, or use them as they are. But that's like a tropical, and then I think these next two were called natural, and I don't remember what this one was called. They can be found in the prefabs under gardening. Yes, so. Modern. This is the modern planter. Yeah. Modern. Oops. Modern. It does look very modern. And then natural. And then the last one over here is tropical. We've got 2 new buildings added for animal welfare. They can be found in the animal care section under housing, with all the other shelters that are available. This one's like a backstage area kind of thing, and I really like how it looks on the inside. It's definitely like a place where they can go, you know, at night or when you're cleaning out their cage. And this is kind of more like a stable for your bigger herbivores, or, you know, I mean, even, you know, your carnivores and such. You could take out, let's see, go edit group. Just an example, if you wanted to, you see, you can take these pieces out like that, kind of make it look how you want it to look. I like how they made nice little fences out of various pieces, modular pieces, but you know, you can, come on, there we go. You know, you could open it up if you wanted to, you can change the colors, you can do whatever you want to it, you know. You don't have to just leave it as is. If you want to use it, you can change it around to your liking. And that's the nice thing about the prefabs in this game. Alright, and the last thing we've got is we do have some new plants. Most of these we had already, and these are just some extra variations of, like, these are arrowwoods, and It's just a third variation of the arrowwood. It's a little bushier and taller than the other ones. The other ones were kind of like flatter ground cover. I like bushes, so that's those are cool. I like those. These are what are they? Where's my list? I did them in order, and now I can't remember what they were. Field elm. So these are elm trees. 2 new elm trees. I think there was one or 2 others previously. And then we've got some oaks, some new oaks. I like the chunk on this. I don't know why. I just like the fact that it's slanted like that. And then these are the birch trees, of which we've got 4 of them, and they look pretty cool. I like birch trees. Birch trees and aspens and stuff like that are all very nice. So yeah, those are all the new decorations and modular pieces. One of the other things I just wanted to point out that has been added is it's actually quite nice, because this was sort of a pain beforehand. Now with the terrain and stuff, when you raise and you lower the terrain or the water, the plants actually move with it. Before, like if you raise the terrain, it would usually like swallow up the trunk, which isn't always a bad thing. But when you put everything out with a brush, and then you're like, oh, I want to raise the terrain, and it swallows everything, you know, that is kind of a pain. But now, as you can see, the plants go with it. I mean, the only thing you really have to worry about is, like, you know, sometimes the angle. See, kind of like how it's like that. So if you don't want it like angled, yeah, see how that one's slanted? You gotta, you know, just kind of get it how you want it to be. But that's much better than it just being completely swallowed whole by the terrain, which was a problem beforehand. And as you can see, it's true for water as well. Before, like, if you put water down or if you lowered the terrain, like, they would, like, float and you'd have to, like, pull everything down. So it's really nice to see that that stuff is implemented as well. So, yeah, that is going to do it for this episode on the Prehistoric Kingdom Beta Update 0.4, the last major update before early access in about 10 days. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to the things we all create in the future. There's going to be some cool stuff coming out, I'm sure, and I look forward to more building stuff, more dinosaurs, and more just everything else that this game is going to have to offer us in the near future. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will be back with more Prehistoric Kingdom real soon. Until then, have a good one.